I'm not sure what if that
If they
collaborates.
do an alcohol screening and an assessment and it's suitable for probation, I don't have a problem, but otherwise you'll need to go to Von Swartz for an alcohol screening and assessment and attend the victim's impact panel. Court does call the case. People versus Philip Seaver.
And good afternoon, Your Honor. Brendan Dabalski appearing on behalf of Philip Seaver. Mr. Seaver, state name for the record, sir.
Philip Stever.
Okay. Counsel, were you aware of a bond violation?
I was, Your Honor. Yes, your staff made me aware.
Okay, what are we doing today then?
Your Honor, at this time, my client has indicated that he'd like to accept the offer, and that's going to be tendering a plea of guilty to the amended charge of impaired driving.
That's correct, Your Honor. Count 2 of operating while visibly impaired. And if you accept that guilty plea to count 2, I move to dismiss the original charge.
Sir, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do, Your Honor.
State your name for the record.
Philip Seaver.
All right. You can put your hand down. Sir, it is this court's understanding you're going to plead guilty to the charge of operating while visibly impaired. That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail, up to a $300 fine plus court costs. The court could order rehabilitative services or any community service the court deems necessary. Could order your vehicle immobilized. Could order you to pay the cost of the prosecution as well as the cost of any emergency governmental services. You understand all of that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
And understand.
I
And
apologize.
understanding is to plead guilty.
Yes, Your Honor.
And to that charge, how do you plead?
I plead guilty.
Now, you understand that by pleading guilty, you'll not have a trial of any kind.
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Because of that, you're also giving up certain rights. You're giving up your right to call witnesses to speak for you at trial or to have this court compel their attendance. You're giving up your right to see, hear, and question witnesses against you at trial. You're also giving up your right to be a witness for yourself or to remain silent, not have that silence used against you. And you're giving up your right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right.
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you on probation or parole?
No, Your Honor.
Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today on the record to get you to plead guilty?
No, Your Honor.
Anybody threaten you or coerce you?
No, Your Honor.
You're doing this voluntarily
Yes.
of your own free will
Yes, Your Honor.
and because you believe that you are indeed guilty of this offense?
That is correct.
On the date of December 29, 2023, at the location of Carpenter Road in Pittsfield Township, Washtenaw County, State of Michigan, were you operating a motor vehicle?
Yes, I was.
Prior to operating that motor vehicle, had you consumed intoxicating liquor?
Yes, I did.
What did you have and how much?
I consumed three beverages containing gin over ice and one Bud Light.
Were you stopped by the police or was there an accident?
I was stopped by the police.
Why'd they stop you?
The officer had stated that there was a anonymous phone call for or anonymous tip that was given to them. They had tailed me for a block until I pulled into a restaurant that I was attempting to get food to help sober up. That was why they stopped me.
All right. You're not disputing the right of the police to stop you in this case, are you?
I am not disputing it.
All right. Were you ultimately arrested?
Yes, it was.
And were you taken to the police station or hospital?
The hospital first and then the police station.
All right. Was there a blood test?
Yes, there was, Your Honor.
Were the results 0.158?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any reason to dispute those results?
I do not.
Taking everything into consideration on that date and at that time, do you believe that your ability to operate that motor vehicle was visibly impaired due to your consumption of alcohol?
Yes, Your Honor, it was.
All right. Counsel, have I complied with the court rule? Would it be proper to accept this defendant's plea?
Yes, sir.
Yes, you have, Your Honor.
Court will accept the defendant's plea of guilty to count 2. Count 1 is dismissed. Defendant is referred to Von Schwartz for an alcohol screening and assessment and the victim's impact panel.
Your Honor,
Sentencing in this, yes,
I do have a, so at the moment, I do have a substance abuse class through the VA that I'm attending. I attended this voluntarily, enrolled in it. I've already completed the intake. My first appointment is tomorrow at 1500 or 3 p.m. and we'll be continuing on through this course. I'm not sure what if that
if they do an alcohol screening and an assessment and it's suitable for probation, I don't have a problem, but otherwise you'll need to go to Von Schwartz for an alcohol screening and assessment and attend the victim's impact panel.
Understood. I will do that as well.
All right. Sentencing in this matter will be May 22nd, 2024 at 9 a.m. or as your invite indicates. All right.
Your Honor,
Yes.
unfortunately, like the individual before this case, I do have a conflict. I have a bench trial scheduled that morning. Can we go Wednesday the 29th? Would that work?
No, it won't work. I don't like putting these that far. We have anything?
There was the May 8th date, which we were going to do this from custody, but
I can do May 8th.
Can I do it via Zoom? I just had to be in Grand Blanc that morning at
Yes,
9 a.m.
that's fine. May
Okay.
8th, 9 a.m. or as your invite indicates. Court calls the case, People versus Andre Dowell.
Township.
Please, the court, Your Honor. Ezra Goldman on behalf of Mr. Dowell. And Mr. Dowell, can you state your name?
There he is.
I don't see theirs. And Mr. Dowell, could you state your name?
Hi, this is Andre Dowell.
There he is. All right, good enough. All right, what are we doing?
Your Honor, the people.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, I was going to say probably the same thing, that the people agreed to reduce this charge from a high BAC to an operating difference. And my client is prepared to accept that.
OWI.
WI, correct, Your Honor.
Operating
Of
while
course,
tax.
we accept that and move to dismiss the original charge.
I advise Mr. Dowell of his constitutional rights. I think he understands them and he understands the nature of this plea.
All right, very good. Sir, please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
State your name again for the record.
Andre Dowell.
All right, sir, it is this court's understanding that you're going to plead guilty to the charge of operating while intoxicated. That is a misdemeanor, punishable by up to 93 days in jail, $500 fine plus court costs. The court could order community service and any rehabilitative programs the court deems necessary. The court could also order your vehicle immobilized. Could order you to pay the cost of the prosecution as well as the cost of any emergency governmental services. You understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
It's understanding that you still wish to plead guilty.
Yes, Your Honor.
And to that charge, how do you plead?
Guilty, Your Honor.
Now, you understand that by pleading guilty, you'll not have a trial of any kind.
Yes, Your Honor.
Because of that, you're giving up certain rights. You're giving up your right to call witnesses to speak for you at trial or to have this court compel their attendance. You're giving up your right to see, hear, and question all witnesses against you at trial. You're also giving up your right to be a witness for yourself or to remain silent, not have that silence used against you. And you're giving up your right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right.
Yes, sir.
Are you on probation or parole?
No, sir.
Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today on the record to get you to plead?
No, sir.
Anybody threaten you or coerce you?
No, Your Honor.
You're doing this voluntarily
Yes, voluntarily.
and of your own free will.
Correct. Yes.
All right. And also because you believe that you're guilty of this offense. Is that correct?
That is correct.
January 4th, 2024, at the location of, I say Crane Road, Pittsfield Township, Washtenaw County, State of Michigan. Were you operating a motor vehicle?
Yes, I was.
Prior to operating that motor vehicle, did you consume intoxicating liquor?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you know how much you had and what you had?
I know the beverages that I had. Yes, Your Honor.
What do you have and how much?
I had a beer called Dragon's Milk. I had two of those, and Jack Daniels and Coke.
Wow. All right. Were you stopped by the police or was there an accident?
I had pulled over to the side of the road, so there was no accident involved.
You pulled over to the side?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah, it's probably a Dragon's Milk. All right. So anyway, so did the police arrive?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Were you ultimately arrested?
Yes, I was.
Were you taken down to the police station or the hospital?
I was taken to the hospital first and to the police station second.
Did they do a blood draw?
Yes, they did.
And were the results of that blood draw 0.2, is it 206?
That's correct.
206?
That's correct.
All right. Do you have any reason to dispute those results of that, the results of that blood draw?
I do not.
All right. The 206 is also because of Dragon's Milk. All right. Counsel, have I complied with the court rule and would it be proper to accept this defendant's plea?
Yes, sir.
Defense is satisfied, Your Honor.
All right. Court will accept the defendant's plea to count 2. Count 1 is dismissed. Defendant is referred to Von Schwartz for an alcohol screening and assessment and the victim's impact panel. Sentencing in this matter will be May 22nd, 2024, 9 a.m. or as your invite indicates.
So,
Sir,
Your
if
Honor,
you can hang, pardon?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Mr. Dowell has previously indicated to me that he has to be out of town for work on the 22nd. Assuming
Pardon?
it's allowing him to travel. But he travels a fair amount for work and is out of town on the 22nd.
Oh, yes.
If I may, Ezra, thank you for mentioning that. I can move my flight later that day if it's at 9 a.m. in the morning. I'll be happy to
Well,
move.
I can't guarantee when you'll get necessarily called. Let's try to.
And not to make things complicated, Your Honor, but I'm out of town on the 29th.
I could move my flight until after 4 p.m. if that allows enough time.
I don't know. These two are just talking schedule. I don't know. I give a date and then this is what happens whenever you're nice to somebody. Go ahead.
The next one would be June 12th.
That's a ways out.
Or
That's okay. I'll do it. Will June 12th work?
Actually, I cannot do June 12th. It's a holiday. I will be out that day. Lewis. I
Got
could do the previous, but I
Okay,
think Mr.
can we
Dowell is
go
now
up?
okay with the first one.
Yes.
What'd you say?
I think
What
Mr.
do we
Dowell
wanna
is
do?
our first choice now.
All right. Can we see if we can make sure he's in the morning? All right. We'll try to make sure. So
Thank you.
I'll leave it on May 22nd, 2004 at 9 a.m. and we'll try to make sure to get you in the morning block.
All right. Sorry for
Okay.
the back and forth there, Your Honor.
Pardon?
Sorry for that back and forth.
No, it's okay. Mr. Dahl, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put you in with probation intake. They'll get all the information to you that you need to do. Okay, we'll put you into a breakout room with them. All right?
Yes, sir. Well, right
All
now?
right. Pardon?
You mean right now?
Right now.
Great.
Because otherwise you'll disappear and then you'll be someplace we won't be able to get to. No, I'm kidding. All right. Can you get
Have a
them
good
into a
day, Your
breakout room? Calls case people versus Nelisha White.
Conrad Solar on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Bridget Coons on behalf of Miss White. Miss White, if you can state your name for the record.
Nelisha White.
Jan, are we just be asking for an adjournment so that she can get more time to get her license?
May 15th, 2024, 9 a.m.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Court calls the case people versus Deanna Simmons.
Conrad, so on behalf of his.
Bridget Coons on behalf of Ms. Simmons, if you can unmute yourself, turn on your camera and state your name.
Deanna Simmons,
Deanna Simmons. Sorry about that.
it's okay. State your name.
Deanna Simmons.
All right, what are we doing?
Tanner, there was an offer in this case to add a count of disturbing the peace with the option of deferred in exchange for dismissal of count 1.
And it's gonna be no contest for you.
No contest.
No contest to,
Adding count of disturbing peace. Of course, you accept that and move to dismiss the original charge.
that's 90 days, 500. Right.
That's correct.
I'm sorry, that's 90 days and what?
Max $500 fine plus court costs.
Oh, okay.
Okay, all right. And she's looking for prosecutors deferred also.
Yes.
Okay. All right, ma'am, raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
State your name for the record again.
Deanna Simmons.
All right, ma'am, it is this court's understanding that you're going to plead guilty to or plead no contest to the charge of disturbing the peace. That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 90 days, $500 fine plus court costs. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And understanding that, well, you also understand what a no contest plea is.
Yes.
All right. Two things about a no contest plea. I have to make sure that you understand. The first thing is that it means that you're not further desirous or wanting to contest this charge. You understand that? You understand that, ma'am?
Yes.
All right. The second thing you
found
need to
switch.
understand. Okay. The second thing you need to understand is that for purposes of sentencing, the court will treat you the same as though you had pled guilty. You understand that?
Yes, I do.
All right. Basis for the no contest plea.
Lack of recollection.
All right. So to the charge of disturbing the peace, how do you plead?
No contest.
Now you understand that by pleading no contest, you'll not have a trial of any kind.
Yes.
Because of that, you're giving up certain rights. You're giving up your right to call witnesses to speak for you at trial or to have this court compel their attendance. You're giving up your right to see, hear, and question all witnesses against you at trial. You're also giving up your right to be a witness for yourself or to remain silent, not have that silence used against you. And you're giving up your right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You understand that?
Yes.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right.
Yes.
Are you on probation or parole?
No.
Has anybody promised you anything other than what's
No.
been stated here today on the record to get you to plead to this charge?
No.
Anybody threaten you or coerce you?
No, sir.
You're doing this voluntarily
Yes.
and of your own free will.
Excuse me. Yes.
Court has been provided Pittsfield Township Department of Public Safety report for their case number 23-19342. Any objection to the court reviewing that or having reviewed that report to form the factual basis?
No, Your Honor.
No objection.
Upon a review of that report, the court does find that there's a sufficient factual basis in which the court could determine the defendant's guilt. Counsel, have I complied with the court?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will accept the defendant's plea of no contest to count 2. Count 1 is dismissed. Defendant is referred to probation for pre-sentence investigation and consideration of prosecutors deferred. Sentencing in this matter will be May 22nd, 2024, 9 a.m. as your invite indicates. All right, bond will continue. Ma'am, stay on the line. I'm going to put you into a breakout room with probation intake so they can get that process started for you, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
So is this probation like guaranteed? Because I was under the impression that I possibly wouldn't have to do probation if I pleaded to the disturbing the peace.
If it's gonna be a prosecutor's deferred, my requirement is that you're on probation for some period in time.
Okay, do you know what that period of time would be?
I have to take a look at the whole report, ma'am.
We
Okay,
talked about this a little bit, Ms. Simmons. You'll talk.
yeah, a
to
little
the-
bit, but not to this extent.
Okay.
But
You would
okay,
talk
I'll
with
get
the-
transferred out to probation.
Yes, we're gonna put you into that breakout room right now. Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Court calls case People versus DeQuan Delane.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Kearney on behalf of Mr. Delane. Mr. Delane, can you unmute and state your name for the record, please?
DeQuan Delane.
Okay, all right, he's there. All right, what are we doing?
Your Honor, Mr. Delane is going to plead to an added count 2 of 257.326 in exchange for a dismissal of count 1.
That's correct, Your Honor. So I move to add MCL 257.6. Of course, if you accept that plea, I move to dismiss.
Sir, can you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
State your name again for the record.
DeQuan Delane.
All right. Sir, it is this court's understanding, you can put your hand down. It's this court's understanding that you're going to be pleading guilty to the charge of allowing an ineligible driver to operate a motor vehicle. That's a misdemeanor punishable by up to 90 days in jail and or a $100 fine plus court costs. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Still wish to plead guilty?
Yes, sir.
And to that charge, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Now, you understand that by pleading guilty, you'll not have a trial of any kind.
Yes, sir.
Because of that, you're giving up certain rights. You're giving up your right to call witnesses to speak for you at trial or to have this court compel their attendance. You're giving up your right to see, hear, and question all witnesses against you at trial. You're also giving up your right to be a witness for yourself or to remain silent, not have that silence used against you. And you're giving up your right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
Was that a yes?
Yes, sir.
All right. You understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right. You understand that, sir?
Oh, yes, sir.
All right. Are you on probation or parole?
No, sir.
Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today on the record to get you to plead to this charge?
Say it again, sir. I'm sorry.
Pardon?
Say it again. I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry.
No, sir. Has anybody threatened you or coerced you?
Yes, sir.
Has anybody threatened you or coerced you to get to enter this plea?
Oh, no, sir. I'm sorry.
All right. You're doing this voluntarily and of your own free will?
Yes, sir.
And because you believe that you're guilty of this offense?
Yes, sir.
August 20th, 2023, Carpenter Road in Pittsfield Township, Washtenaw County, State of Michigan. Did you have custody or control of a motor vehicle?
Oh, yes, sir. I did.
Did you allow someone who was otherwise ineligible to operate that motor vehicle?
No, I did not.
Okay.
That person may include yourself, Mr. Delane.
Oh, yes.
Okay, you did? All right. Counsel, have I complied with the court rule?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will accept the defendant's plea to count 2. Count 1 is dismissed. Sir, anything you want to say before I impose sentence?
No, sir.
Fines and costs of $250. Suspend 90 days in jail. When can you pay that?
Probably within a month because I'm not working at the moment.
Pay it by May 31st.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Not a problem. Court calls case People versus George Jones.
Your Honor, I'd just be asking for a month adjournment. He needs to go to Secretary of State and figure out if he's eligible for reinstatement or what's holding him up.
Is he gonna be able to do that in a month? And
I'll be able to do it next week, really.
okay, all right, okay. Well, let me give you some time. It's not you I'm worried about. You gotta,
May 15th.
it's other people that you gotta ask. Now give me the, you know,
The what, I'm sorry?
15th. May 15th.
Yes.
I'll adjourn it to May 15th, 2024, 9 a.m. Where's your indicate? All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. You too. Court calls the case, People versus Zachary Burlap.
So on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Zachary Burlap. Oh, we think he's at the jail?
Yes.
Is what are they arraigning?
It was one case.
Right now?
I-
Are they done?
I'm not.
Well, here's what I'll do on his case. I'll either adjourn this out 2 weeks to May 1st. Well, why don't I just do that anyway? And then I can arraign him at that time. I'll adjourn this to May 1st, 2024, 9 a.m. We'll see if we can get the file down there for the magistrate to arraign. If we get a shot, but since they're doing a felony on him anyway. Court does call the case, People versus Vincent Lambert.
Hello.
Henry Silver on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Oh my goodness.
Vincent Lambert, no response.
Hello.
Transport will issue. Hello, what's your name?
Devin Collins.
Okay, we see you there.
Yeah, I'm sorry to cut in. My phone is on 6%, and I've been in the bathroom for almost like an hour. I can't be outside my job this long, so I'm trying to.
We passed your case. Hang up, hold on a minute.
Okay.
On the Lambert matter, a bench warrant will issue, bond 5,000. 10%. That warrant will issue on Friday, April 19th, 2024. All right, there's that one. Hang on. And then let me clear up this file here, which I think is polio. Yeah. Thank you. The auto for it. Thank you. And then Mr. Collins is here finally. Court recalls the case, People versus Devin Collins.
Henry Silver on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Bridget Coons on behalf of Mr. Collins. State your name, Mr. Collins.
Devin Collins.
Your Honor, we'd just be asking for an adjournment of 6 weeks. He's working on an appeal for his license.
6 weeks.
Yes. I was gonna ask for 2 months, but it didn't get granted last.
It's amazing how we learn. June 5th, 2024, 9 a.m.
Thank you.
Might as well just give it to her Wi-Fi. Thank you.
Have a good day,
And
man.
then, what was it doing in Angel Wilson?
She was following.
Oh, that's right. Were you done with Miss Wilson?
Yes.
All right, I'll recall the case. Thank you. Ma'am, it is this court's understanding that you're going to plead guilty to the charge of retail fraud under the Pittsfield Township ordinance. That is a misdemeanor, punishable by up to 90 days in jail and a $500 fine plus court costs. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm sorry for interrupting. We're asking for a no contest.
I'm sorry?
We're asking the court for a no contest. I think I said that wrong.
So ma'am, you're going to be pleading no contest to the charge of retail fraud?
That is correct.
All right. You understand what a no contest plea is?
Yes, sir.
All right. 2 things about a no contest plea I need to make sure you understand. Is that first of all, it means that you're not further desirous or wanting to contest this charge. You understand that?
Yes.
The second thing is that for purposes of sentencing, the court will treat you the same as though you had pled guilty. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Basis for the no contest plea.
Possible civil liability, Judge.
So ma'am, to the charge of retail fraud under the Pittsfield Township ordinance, how do you plead?
No contest.
And you understand that by pleading no contest, you'll not have a trial of any kind.
Correct, yes.
Have you signed an advice of rights form?
Yes, I did.
I don't know if we're going to file, Your Honor, but we could review one. I'll have her sign one. Right.
You signed an advice of rights form. You have any questions regarding any of those rights?
No, Your Honor.
Should see a copy on the podium. Please look at paragraph 5. Those are your rights which are part of a trial. You understand that by pleading no contest, you'll be giving up those rights as well as all the rights on that form. You understand you're giving up your right to appeal of it. Are you on probation or parole?
No, sir.
Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today on the record to get you to plead no contest?
No, sir.
Anybody threaten you or coerce you?
No, sir.
You're doing this voluntarily
Yes, sir.
and of your own free will.
Yes.
Court has been provided and has reviewed Pittsfield Township Department of Public Safety report for their case number 23-5108. Any objection to the court having reviewed that report?
No, Your Honor.
Based upon a review of that report, the court does find that there's a sufficient factual basis in which the court could determine the defendant's guilt of this offense. Counsel, have I complied with the court?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have, Your Honor.
Court will accept the defendant's plea of no contest to this charge. Defendant is referred to probation for a pre-sentence investigation and report and determination of prosecutors deferred. Sentencing in this matter will be May 22nd, 2024, 9 a.m. or as your invite indicates.
Thank you, Your Honor. May
Time will continue. Thank you. For recalls case, people versus Angel Wilson.
Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Morgan Barroso on behalf of people.
Bridget Coons on behalf of Ms. Wilson. Your Honor, as to the bond violation, on April 5th, she would like to admit, whenever I talked to her, she did explain to me that it was her sister's birthday at that time. She understands that she made a mistake and she shouldn't have. We did try to call her mother. Her mother's at work right now to come pick up her son, but it was unsuccessful. The call wasn't going through. Her sister doesn't have a car to pick up the son, and the child of the father of the child is unavailable until 4:30. She is working full time. She's actually supposed to be working today at 2:50 p.m. at EHM Senior Solutions. And then she's enrolled inside the nursing program as well as being a mother. We'd ask that this matter be adjourned at least for the sentencing for this. That way she can figure out childcare and then prove herself that she's not going to further test positive for anything.
Court will accept the admission to the violation. What I will do in this matter is I'll adjourn the sentencing on that violation to April 24th, 2024 at 9 a.m. Defendant is in the interim to report today to Community Corrections for placement on the scram tether. I've signed that order. She's to get over there and get that on right now.
Okay.
Court calls the case, people versus Matthew Meyer.
Bridget Coons on behalf of Mr. Meyer. If you're present, if you can unmute yourself and camera.
State your name, unmute and state your name, sir.
Matthew Lee Meyer.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I haven't been able to have a conversation with him to figure out the status of his license. Last time I talked to him, Florida. Have you been able to resolve that, Mr. Myers?
No, ma'am. I went to the Secretary of State first thing this past Monday morning, explained the situation to them again, tried to get a different clerk that could help me, and everybody always has the same answer, but no solution. You got to call Florida. I don't know who to talk to. When I do call, if I'm lucky to get a hold of somebody, I just get transferred and hung up on. I've done it at least 60 times in the past 4 months.
If he wants to take responsibility for the birthday, please all this.
Okay. If we can do double parking today, which is a civil infraction for 180, would you like to take that, sir?
Is there any
It
points
gets us out of
on
the
my
way.
ice? Is there any points or anything? Or
No
is that-
points.
No points.
Okay, let's go ahead and do that. Let's get this done and put to bed. I'll pay the fine and we'll move forward.
Yeah, bad things happen in Florida.
Yeah, you're right.
All right.
You're
Your
right.
Honor, I moved that, double parking, and of course, we accept that and dismiss the legal charge.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Cole.
Each
Thank you, Your Honor.
each time he appears, I hear his frustration. So
I remember the story.
yeah, so good. We can get at least this part done.
Thank you.
So-
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Okay, just 1 second here.
Yep.
And so, Mr. Myers, do you admit responsibility to the fact that on October 10th, 2023, location of Carpenter Road, Pittsfield Township, Washington County, State of Michigan, that you double parked a motor vehicle?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will accept that admission to double parking. Fines and cost of $180, and all because people won't give you an answer when they want you to, when you want an answer. I'm gonna waive $100 of that, so pay $80. You're all set, sir.
Thank you so much, Your Honor. I'll have it done tomorrow before end of day. Thank you.
Calls the case, People versus Stephen Phelps. What are we doing?
Your Honor, can we adjourn a short adjournment? So we can, he's not able to get his license back, but so we can discuss other options.
May 15th, 2024, 9 a.m. Court calls the case, People versus Ray Pozan.
Oh, Ray Pozon?
Your Honor, he has provided a valid license. There was an offer for an added count of double parking in exchange for dismissal of the other count. He would like to accept that offer.
That is correct.
Sir, do you admit responsibility to the fact that on September 29, 2023, Gulfside Road, Pittsfield Township, Washington County, State of Michigan, that you double parked a motor vehicle?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will accept that admission to double parking. Count one is dismissed. Fines and costs of $180. When can you get that paid?
Got paid next week? Like Friday?
I don't know. Can you?
Yeah.
Okay, no. When do you get paid?
Friday.
Next Friday? Okay, all right. I don't see his check. All right, pay it by you get paid that Friday? Okay, then tell you what, get it paid by the 29th of April. Okay, that Monday. Sorry about that. Just being smart. Can I pay it next Friday? I don't know. Court calls the case, the People versus Marvin William.
So on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Bridget Coons on behalf of Mr. Pulliam.
Defense warrants will issue for defendant's failure to appear in all of these matters. Bond will be set in the amount of $5,000. I'll give it 10% privilege. They will issue immediately. There having been previous warrants. Court calls the case, the People versus Neil Robertson.
Conrad Silver on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Bridget Coons on behalf of Mr. Robertson. If you can state your name for the record.
Neil Robertson.
Your Honor, there is a plea offer in this case for Mr. Robertson to add a count of double parking. We would like to take that offer in exchange for dismissal of count one.
That's correct.
And do you admit responsibility then to the fact that on March 10th, 2024, at the location of Carpenter Road, Pittsfield Township, that you double parked a motor vehicle?
Yes.
Court will accept that admission to count two. Count one is dismissed. Fines and cost of $180. When can you get that paid?
Next Tuesday. April 23rd.
23rd. All right, I'll give it to just get it paid before April 30th. All right. Court calls the case, People versus Nathan Ryans.
Conrad Silver on behalf of Pittsfield.
Nathan Ryans.
Bridget Coons on behalf of Nathan Ryans.
Oh.
If you can turn on your camera and state your name.
Got a camera?
Yeah, my camera's on.
We can't see you, Mr. Ryans. Here. Oh.
Well, I can see you guys, and it shows that my camera's on. I can't do anything else. My camera's on.
And
it doesn't say my camera's off, and it shows it.
Yeah,
you see me
now it's on. Now we see you.
Okay. We're gonna ask for an adjournment, possibly 2 months. He has a $1,200 hold that he has to pay before he can get his license back, and it's just a financial issue.
How long did you say?
2 months.
Yeah. So I thought. You just thought I wasn't hearing right. Well, I don't know that it's gonna happen. But I will do this. I'll adjourn it to June 5th, 2024, 9 a.m. Bond continued. Court calls case, People versus Deshaun Law.
Conrad Silver on behalf of Township.
Good afternoon, Mr. Law. Mr. Law, can you
Hello?
put your name for the record, please?
Yes, my name is Deshaun Law.
Got him.
Your Honor, we're asking for an adjournment. Mr. Law is still working on getting his license. I believe he has an appointment, at Secretary of State on the 25th.
During the matter, May 15th, 2024, 9 a.m. Thank you. Or calls the case of the people versus Michael Moore.
Township.
Good afternoon, this is the public defender, Lauren Perry, Mr. Moore, we did come to resolution with Mr. Siller, please provide me, permission to admit responsibility on his behalf.
So I moved to add count 2 double parking. Of course, Your Honor, if you accept that admission and move to dismiss the original charge.
And you admit responsibility on behalf of your client.
I did.
Or will accept that admission to count 2. Count 1 is dismissed. Fines and cost of $180. When can he get that paid?
You can pay it today.
Oh, great. Pay it today. Okay, thank you.